I'm going to try to show you a upgrade to the 2016 F150 with the Sony premium sound speaker upgrade. And the reason why I'm doing this is because the navigation speaker on there really sounded bad, and was just going to try to be able to get rid of the crackly sound out of it. But I decided to go ahead and do all the speakers in the truck, and I end up going to a F150 forum posted by Josh, and I'll show you that link on a piece of paper over here in just a minute. But so first, what we have is this is actually the 3.5 inch speaker for the center console, and I bought the KSC 35 kicker 3.5 inch speaker, and I actually got a pack 300 ohm bass blocker to be able to knock it down, because the factory speaker actually has a capacitor for a bass blocker on it already, and I didn't want to go too high, because I wanted the navigation to be able to still sound full sound by not knocking too much of the bass and mids out of the 3.5 inch speaker while she's talking. So to be able to make this up, the wide prong is actually the positive, so the bass blocker actually goes onto the positive side in line with the link. We purchased a 7256 plug adapter. The thing about the plug adapter is, whenever you hold this up next to this, you'll notice that the prongs on the sides of the plug is actually 90 degrees out, so it's not completely right. But what I did was actually take the file these down on the side. They will still go ahead and go into the truck harness speaker, but on top of that, the plugs that you have do you no good. You actually have to cut the plugs off and use the supplied plug that comes with the speaker to change the polarity, because the polarity on the plug is actually wrong. So I don't know if it's really worth doing the harnesses, but it keeps you from having to cut your OEM harness. So to do this, I actually got some nice wire splice tools. You actually put this in here right up to there. Whenever you grab a hold of this one side, squeeze it down, it'll splice it out for you. So once you do that on both sides of your plugs, you actually just have the red splicing kits. You slide these in on both sides, and then you use your crimp tools to be able to crimp this down, and then you've made your wiring section. I realize that I just put these two together. You'd end up putting this in line with your plug, and on this side right here will be your positives, negatives. So, and then that plugs into your speaker. So the rest of this is I use the needle nose pliers to be able to cut out for your door speakers. You actually have to have the 7250 602s, but they actually has 4 wires. You don't use the 2 middle wires, and so you cut out the 2 middle wires. The polarity on those are actually backwards as well. You end up using the speaker wires here to be able to reverse that. I'll show you whenever I get to it. These are actually the rear door speakers, the 6.5 inch door speakers that comes in. You'll notice that they are actually 4 ohms but only 25 watts, and we end up getting a 6.5 inch speaker, a 4 ohm but 240 watt peak, but I think it's 100 and something RMS. That reminds me, when we come back on the dash speaker, it is actually an 8 ohm dash speaker. Well, the only replacements you have is 4 ohms. So it works. It works out right. I'm not really sure why the factory went with an 8 ohm with the speaker system. It actually even sounds better with the 4 ohm. Back over here, this is the 6.5 inch speaker that come out of the truck. It is actually a 25 watt 4 ohm speaker as well. But you'll notice the casings are actually made into the speaker, which is the reason why you have to actually buy these adapters. For the 6.5 inch, I got the 825606. For the 6.5, I got the 825605. So the only deals with those, the 5605 6.5s worked fairly well. What I had to do was in the side of the adapter, I'll show you when we pull the panel off of the door, I had to drill a hole in to be able to feed the speaker wire out the side of the adapter. You actually have these little clips like this, but what I also did was I actually used these to go down the new speaker, go through the adapter into this to be able to screw it in. I'll show you that whenever I get the door off. So then the 6x9s, I actually got the DSC 6930 or the 693s. They actually really do sound pretty good. They're a 3-way versus a 2-way, what's come factory. Right here is the wiring diagram, and it also has the link up here at the top. I'm sorry that I don't know how to be able to put it in YouTube to let you actually automatically link to this. But this Josh guy did a really nice job about showing his platinum conversion. He had a diagram that was on there that come in very useful to be able to show you the positive and negatives of the wiring harnesses coming out of the truck. They're still the same in the 2016 versus the 2015. Also, I bought the bass blocker from Sonic Electronics. The speakers basically you can get from either there or from anywhere else. The total price that I've spent for all the harnesses and the speakers was about $245 total. And you'll notice that I had an extra 3.5 inch speaker, so I have extra harnesses and extra speakers. There's a good point too. When you order the door speakers, the 5602s, it comes with 2 harnesses in there. You don't need to buy 2 packages. It doesn't tell you that on the Metra site. So you actually end up with extras of these. There's also 2 in the 5600 as well. So now we'll go ahead and quickly take off the door panels. All I have is the 1/4 inch adapter to be able to go into my drill. It's a 7mm socket. I have the little extension there to be able to reach into the door facings. You need a large flathead screwdriver, and you also need a putty knife to be able to do the front door and for the dash speaker. I have this to be able to tighten them back up by hand. You don't want to tighten them with your drill because you'll probably strip the screw holes or pull it through your door. Then you have a star driver that actually goes for the 3.5 inch speaker in your dash. On top of that, I'll show you that you'll have to break the little tab that comes on your dash that goes through this little hole here, because it does not line up with the new holes for the kicker speaker, and apparently it doesn't line up for the Pioneers or the Kenwoods or either. So alrighty, so let's go take a door off. So first things first, there's a little bitty hole right up here that you actually can get into with your screwdriver. Now you can't be afraid of doing this. It actually is quite simple once you do it the first time. You have to do it pretty quickly because the faster you go, the easier the clips come right off. The same thing for right here. You actually go into the little panel right here, And this is actually the bottom side that you pull off, but it just has these little clips right here. It actually looks like I did break that clip right there. What a shame. So now there's 2 screws at the bottom that you take this out. There's another one over here. Take these 2 screws out right here. You take these 2 out. And then all you do is you grab a hold of the corner of the door, you just pull real quickly, and the whole thing comes right on off. Now whenever you get this open, you reach down and there's a little tab that's on this door handle. You pull that down and it pops this right out. The same thing goes for your electrical. You pull those little tabs and they pull out right there. And then the whole door comes right off. As far as your door speakers go, this is how I've got it cut off. There's the 2. As far as your wiring harness colors, you'll see back there on which one is positive, which one is negative. And this is where I drilled the hole in the bottom of the new adapter housing. You can take these 3 screws out for the speaker. And you'll see how I actually used these screws that come with the speakers, and I went through these holes instead of the slotted holes and used the little adapter springs to go into the side of the slotted screws. And then we'll unplug this. That's not good. Okay. It was this little plug right here. So we'll have to redo those. As far as the front dash, the front dash speaker, you actually put your putty knife in, and it has those same clips that you just pop off on each side. And then there's the speaker and the 2 little tabs that you actually break off and screw it down. So I hope that actually helps anyone else that's trying to do theirs. As you notice that I did end up breaking a couple of little tabs on mine, but whenever you're doing retrofit, maybe stuff happens. But hope that helps out. Thanks.